Alright, so the next thing I've got is my new cold air intake. And this is the Monkey Wrench Racing one. It's metal, so just got to connect everything up, and it's got connected to the mass flow sensor and all of that other kind of good stuff. The one thing you move over is your mass sensor, your mass airflow sensor. So what I discovered is that the gasket on this is just totally stretched out. And I think you can kind of see that. It's just really stretched out. So this is you couldn't seal it up. And if there's anything that needs to be sealed up well, it's that air intake, because the computer will have a hard time figuring out what's going on. So I had to order a new. The sensor seems fine. There's nothing wrong with the sensor, and sensors are terribly expensive. So the gasket is all of $1.15. But none of the Toyota dealers around us had it. I tried finding some alternatives at the shop, and none of them were right. So I had to order it online. $7 in shipping to get my $1 gasket, but it did save me from having to buy, I don't know, $100 new sensor. So I'll get this mounted, and I can start working on the airbox. This is the O-ring. That's the part number, the Toyota part number, in case you ever have to order one. If you're ever changing airboxes, you really ought to change this out. Alright, so this are the instructions that come with the airbox, or the new cold air intake, and that's a picture of the whole thing. Instructions are just fine. Obviously this is not the most complicated thing to do in the world. So right now I've got my mass sensor connected. I've got my emissions control, and they give you this little attachment piece here attached up. Down in here I've got, oops, behind that one, there's a silicone connector, so I've got that tightened down onto the intake there. So now I just got to attach this, tighten that up, and then I can put the air box in it. And the plus to this one is that you're drawing air straight out of the side vent right in that corner there before it gets back to the exhaust and everything, so it's truly a cold air. And hopefully I'll have it all sealed up, and then I can go to putting the battery in, connecting everything else up. We're getting really close. Okay, so I've got the cold air intake in there. It's a K&N filter. It's kind of a odd shape, and it's the only way it really will fit in there. You had to be really careful. I did twist this around a little bit, give myself a little room for getting in and out of there. I've got all my vacuum hoses hooked up. All my connectors are hooked up. This one connector is the last O2 sensor, so that's the only one that's not connected up. I got to put in my battery, and that is ready to go. I mean, having things tagged made a big difference, even though I lost a few tags. It all came together. So I am ready to go in there. I've got my battery charging over there. I got to put in my battery tray. Then I need to figure out how you put coolant, fill the coolant in this. Got to put in some oil. And I'm not ready to do the transmission yet. I got to put in the transaxles and everything. So, but I know putting in coolant is a little bit of a trick, and so I got to figure that out. But I'm getting close.